What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back with some more new look rebuilds, and today we have ourselves the Memphis Grizzlies on hand. I'm wearing the shirt for a reason. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies didn't change all that much, but we're still going to go ahead and title this one a new look Memphis Grizzlies Rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. Dropping a like on this video helps push it out to the YouTube algorithm, so thank you guys so much for that. Also, really quickly before we get in this video, I just want to quickly address a situation. Not that I'm not mad at anybody, and I don't want to make this like a totally toxic situation, but I just want to address that I've gotten comments in the past where people will comment down below and tell me to go watch other YouTubers and take notes and figure out what to do on 2K. And I just want to really quickly say that I really don't need those comments. Honestly, it doesn't do anything for me. Basically, I prefer my style of rebuilding here on 2K, and then there's YouTubers that have their own style, and that's okay. I don't need to go watch somebody else to figure out what to do on this game. I know what I like to do and what is fun for me. I personally try to stay in the realistic department. I know I step out of it maybe a little bit, but I don't try to go out there. And again, I don't see a problem with this at all. You play the game you want to play, and you play how you want to play 2K. Basically, that's what's fun for us. We like to build teams, and we do it the way we like. I prefer to stay as realistic as possible. Sometimes, like I said, I do step outside of that circle, and sometimes when I'm making trades and trying to be realistic at 2K, it's not easy. Like, making a realistic trade with a CPU is not easy whatsoever, unless if I'm trade overriding, which I don't prefer to do. Then it's not easy. So sometimes I am going to make a stupid trade, but that's just me trying to be realistic. Of course, I could take advantage of the trade finder, trade for a stupid amount of 90s, and do that every video, win a championship every video, but that's not what I prefer to do. So people commenting down below and telling me that I need to go take notes on some other YouTuber that wins more championships than me, that is really not that big of a deal. I do this to have fun in a realistic way. Wanted to address that real quick. It's not needed, and I prefer just to play my way. If you don't enjoy that, again, there's other people that prefer their way, and those guys are awesome content creators too. So there's no need for that. But other than that, want to get back to the rebuild. Just wanted to quickly address that. And there's an audience for everything, and if you prefer my way, that's great. If you don't, that's fine as well. I just like to play the game I like to play. That's all. So the Memphis Grizzlies went ahead and extended Ja Morant this offseason. They still have Desmond Bane, who they never traded. Right now, he's currently heated. I'm not sure why that is. Jaren Jackson, of course, is going to be injured to start the year. Dylan Brooks still on this roster. They extended Tyus Jones, which is one of the better backup point guards in the NBA. They still do have Steven Adams, so I do want to address the center position in this video for sure. Like, that's one position I really do want to address. Brandon Clark. Got Danny Green from that DeAnthony Melton trade. I don't think Danny Green will be playing much for us, but that is definitely a piece at the trade deadline we could use. Like, this team is definitely set up for a potential trade at the trade deadline. There is assets here, so I do want to take a look at the trade deadline when we do get there for like Danny Green and Steven Adams expiring contract, and see if we can get like ourselves a really good center. And then we have some young pieces we maybe throw in some trades. So I think we are set up pretty good to maybe make something happen in that sense. But regardless, let's go ahead and see what our rotation is about to look like to start this season. It's going to be similar to last year, of course, but maybe with a little bit of a caveat. Kyle Anderson's not here anymore and stuff like that. So taking a look at what we're about to look like. This is our season, our team going into this year. So Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson, Brandon Clark, Tyus Jones, Tillman, Zaire Williams, Steven Adams, and then John Kachar. So they do not want to start Steven Adams. They want to start Brandon Clark, which I'm actually okay with that. So we're just going to run a 9-man rotation this year, which means John Kachar will not be in the rotation. And they also extended him as well, I believe. So yeah, that's another guy we can maybe use as a trade chip. So there's definitely some ammunition to make some kind of trade at the trade deadline, which is what I plan on doing. But for now, my big three is Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson. I'm going to be looking to make that a big four at the trade deadline if we can get like a really good center here, because I feel like this team's window is right now. And if we could capitalize and get somebody really good to pair alongside what we already have without giving up too much, I think we could be in a really good position to win a championship this year. We're already going to be really good, but if we could add on to that, that'd be perfect. So we are at the contract extension deadline and at the trade deadline. So I'm going to go ahead and extend Desmond Bane going forward. I actually boosted his shot tendency up a little bit more because it's at like a joking 52. I think that's ridiculous. So we're going to go ahead and give Desmond Bane his extension though right now, because he definitely is somebody I want to keep on this team going forward. Don't plan on getting rid of him. Dylan Brooks is going to test free agency. Steven Adams not eligible, and then Brandon Clark right now is refusing to re-sign, which is interesting, but maybe that's because he wants to see if he can make an all-NBA team or something. Who knows? But player stats so far, 27 and 23. So like I said, I boosted Desmond Bane's shot tendency in place of Dylan Brooks, because Dylan Brooks was at like an 80 something, and then Bane was at like a 50. So I kind of switched those around because I wanted Desmond Bane to be the more aggressive scorer and not Dillon Brooks necessarily. So I do want to make a trade here, though, like I said, at the trade deadline to bring in something here, and that's mainly at the center position, maybe even a better small forward. But I also like what we have in Zaire Williams potentially to be a starter going forward if we need to. So the Charlotte Hornets, bring in LaMelo Ball or something like that. Donovan Mitchell, I don't really want to. I mean, a Donovan Mitchell, John Morant backcourt is cool, but you already have Desmond Bane, so I don't really want to do that. What else we got? We got Julius Randle, Mitch Robinson. I don't really want any of those. Anthony Davis. Could bring Anthony Davis to Memphis. That'd be kind of cool, but I feel like that'd be tough to pull off. Jokic is available right now, which is kind of crazy. I don't imagine you could pull off a Jokic trade. I feel like that'd be really hard without me including like John Morant or Jaren Jackson, but it could be interesting. You got Jakob Poeltl, DeAndre Ayton, Chet, and then you got like Gobert, which that's not going to happen. Nurkic, I don't really want any part of. James Wiseman is intriguing to me. And you got Kristaps Porzingis in Washington. Joel Embiid, which they are contending, which that's not going to be easy to do. I'm looking for a center. Jarrett Allen would almost be awesome as well. But Miles Turner, I guess, is an interesting option. Or even Capella, if the Hawks would be one to give him up. Bam Adebayo would be cool. So there is definitely some options here. So I want to take a look. So like the Pacers are rebuilding. Miles Turner, Jaren Jackson, junk court, or what did I just say? Junk court? Why did I say it? Front court would be pretty awesome. And that's probably the most realistic player I could get here at the trade deadline who's on an expiring contract and I can match his salary. So that could be a really intriguing center to bring into Memphis. So I think that is who we're going to target. I am going to try to get Miles Turner here in Memphis. I feel like he's perfect. Yes, getting somebody younger and better would be cool. But if Miles Turner is the cheapest I can get, I will go for it. I obviously can just sign him in the offseason. But if we can bring him in now to help our playoff run, I'm definitely going to do it. So Steven Adams' contract is pretty much matching his. So I would imagine the Pacers would want like a first round pick. So maybe we give them like a lottery protected first and they would take this. So it'd be Adams, lottery protected for Miles Turner. Do they agree to that? They do not. I'll throw in like a couple seconds, maybe see if they accept that. And they do agree to that. So the Pacers give me Miles Turner, just a simple trade for a center. And now Miles Turner and Jaren Jackson are a front court that could block a lot of shots. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. So now you kind of have a starting five of John Morant, Desmond Bane, Brooks, Jaren Jackson, and then Miles Turner. And then Tyus Jones, Clark, Tillman, and then Zaire Williams. Again, I do like Zaire Williams' game, so maybe he could eventually become a starter if Dillon Brooks for some reason leaves. But for now, I like him off the bench. So let's keep it going. I like that trade we just made, but now it's which we could make another trade, to be honest with you, because we have Danny Green's expiring contract still sitting here, and then we also still have Dillon Brooks' expiring contract. I do love Dillon Brooks, but I mean, we could look around the league some more. If I do decide to make another trade, I'll show you, but if not, we're just going to wait to the end of the season. So I'm going to look at this trade, the trade deadline. It's going to be for Keldon Johnson to be a brand new small forward here in Memphis. I mean, Keldon Johnson's averaging 17 right now in San Antonio, and man, would he be a very, very interesting player to have here in Memphis. I'm going to offer this. I don't think they'll accept it. So it's Brandon Clark, John Kachar, 2 first-round picks. The reason why we're doing this is because we just brought in Miles Turner. We have Xavier Tillman. So I guess we could choose between Clark or Tillman. And since Clark is on an expiring contract, I just feel like maybe, as much as I love Brandon Clark in Memphis, let's see if the Grit or Spurs would accept this. And they do agree. So just like that, we get Keldon Johnson. So we traded 3 first-round picks to the trade deadline, which is quite a lot, not going to lie. But bringing in Keldon Johnson into this rotation, making us even better and deeper, I really like the addition of him. So Dillon Brooks for now will stay the starter, but I think in the offseason, we're probably going to let him go. So brought Keldon Johnson in. I'm actually going to go ahead and just start him, to be honest with you. So Keldon Johnson is your brand new addition here at the small forward position here in Memphis. So now you have Keldon Johnson, Bane, Morant, Jackson, Miles Turner. And then if I can keep Dillon Brooks in the offseason, I will. Then you'll have Zaire Williams, Tillman, Tyus Jones, all off the bench, which I think is absolutely beautiful. So this is a team to definitely be a team to be scared of. So I'm happy with Keldon Johnson coming in. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it simulating and see how we do. So at the end of the season, Luka Doncic wins MVP. That's kind of what we usually see. Rookie there goes to Chet. Kevin Love, 6th man in Cleveland. Giannis, offensive player. Edwards, most improved in Minnesota. And then I'm Udoka, coach of the year. And Jacob Park, senior executive. All-NBA first team, Luka, Trae Young, Giannis, Durant. We get like maybe a John Morant here. He does make All-NBA third team, which is beautiful. And then we go take a look at our stats. We only finished up as the 6th seed, and look at that. We get a Minnesota versus Memphis rematch. What a beautiful sight. So 25.5 from John Morant, 22 from Desmond Bane, 19 from Jaren Jackson, and then 16 from Keldon Johnson, 13 from Dillon Brooks, and then 11 from Miles Turner, and then 11 from Tyus Jones. So I'm honestly loving how deep of a team we are. I really love the additions we got at the trade deadline. With Miles Turner, you have Tillman backing him up, and then Dillon Brooks can be backing up Desmond Bane now. So Dillon Brooks is going to be buying into the backup shooting guard role, which I do like for him. To be that energy guy off the bench. I think Dillon Brooks is very valuable in Memphis, so I don't really want to just get rid of him. I said I was going to, but I don't think I will. So here we go. We get to play Minnesota in round 1, though. So we did beat them last year, as we know, but they have now added Gobert, and they also got Kyle Anderson. So not really sure what to expect here, but hopefully we're able to beat them. We're a very deep team. So game 1, we do lose 116 and 114. John Morant 34, Keldon Johnson with 19, but we lose game 1. We do lose game 2 as well, 39 from Edwards. Are we going to get swept by the Timberwolves? No, we win game 3, which is great. Desmond Bane 27. Can we win game 4? Yes, we can. So this is a game or a tie series now. So we're going to a game 5 in Minnesota. Like I said, these two opponents are very familiar with each other, and sign me up for another series with these two teams. If these two teams want to meet up in real life again in the playoffs, sign me up for that. That'd be a lot of fun. And can we beat them here? We had it and we let it go, man. We had that game 5 in our back pocket and we lose by 1. That is a very unfortunate sight. But now we get a game 6 at home, so forcing a game 7 definitely possible. We just almost won that game 5, but we got to force a game 7 if we want any chance of moving on. So here we go, back and forth game again. This time Minnesota looks like they got the revenge on us. So the Minnesota is going to beat us 155 to 130. So unfortunately for us, Minnesota takes care of us and we are headed home. So not a good look for a team that's looking to make another jump, as we have the Boston Celtics going on and win the championship. But I am still confident in the team that I've built, especially adding those two guys at the trade deadline. Lowry retires and then Rudy Gay retires. But yeah, I still feel pretty confident. Yes, I traded 3 first-round picks, and maybe I won't be able to add even more to this mix, but I'm still feeling good. The Pacers have my pick from the Turner trade. It was Lowry protected, and then let's go ahead and see if we can fill this out. And I don't know if I'll be able to add too much. I know there's a couple guys I need to re-sign. That's one thing we will be looking at. But for the most part, we kind of have our roster locked in. It's just a matter of player progression taking over and putting us over the top. So in the second round, we got Johan Traore, however you say his last name. And I might have said his first name wrong as well, but we will accept him on the team. Player options, we got Tillman, Zaire Williams, Santi Aldama, and then Vince Williams Jr. We'll accept all those. Qualifying offers, Keita Bates-Diop from the Spurs trade. I mean, I wouldn't mind him back. He's a rotational piece we can maybe have going forward. And then free agency, as you know, we have Miles Turner and Dillon Brooks, who are two guys we need to re-sign. But I would be remiss if I didn't look at my options and see if I had the opportunity to sign somebody like a Porzingis or something like that. We're actually kind of close. Maybe we got like a Vucevic, Tyler Hero, something like that. We're actually not too far off from signing somebody. Is there anybody else on like a contract that's kind of tradable? If not, like Tyus Jones, I guess, is kind of in a way, but at the same time, I do like him a lot. And you have Desmond Bane. I prefer to just keep what we had going, to be honest with you. So I think I'm just going to re-sign both Brooks and Miles Turner and hope that just is good enough. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to re-sign Miles Turner, trade it for him at the trade deadline for a reason. And then Brooks is very important to the culture here. I'm going to re-sign him as well. So get both of them back, and our rotation kind of stays complete. We disappointed in the playoffs last year, but I'm confident with some more play progression, things could swing our way. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. If we are struggling and Tyus Jones, contract becomes valuable, maybe we can make another move at the trade deadline, or we could look at doing it now. But there's just really not a position I want to replace as far as starting is concerned. Like Miles Turner is my brand new starter, which I'm okay with that. And you got Jaren Jackson with him, Keldon Johnson. Like the defense is going to be pretty damn good. So I'm feeling good about that, and the bench is awesome. So let's just go to player progression because I'm feeling confident about what I have here. And then we got Keita coming back as well. Dillon Brooks going down. Jackson, John Morant are still progressing. Desmond Bane, Miles Turner is going up. So things are still looking good. And then Zaire Williams up to a 79. Kennedy Chandler developed all the way to a 77 as well. Tillman's an 80 still. So like I'm feeling pretty good about what we built at the trade deadline. It's just a matter of more continuity and this team just developing maybe a little bit more chemistry. Very disappointed we lost in the first round last year, but I'm hoping we can rewrite that wrong and go farther this year. So let's get into this next season. Look at the rotation all together. Power ranking is going to land us at number 3. So we're once again a very good team on paper. I mean, if you look at this team, I'm feeling pretty confident about what I see. John Morant, Desmond Bane, Johnson, Jaren Jackson, Miles Turner, Dillon Brooks, Tyus Jones, Zaire Williams, and Tillman. I think that's a very, very good rotation in the West. So player proficiency is still 4.5 balance. We'll leave that the way it is. I'm going to run it back another year with this team. If this team just can't get anything done, then maybe we need to look at potentially making some kind of trade or doing something, because maybe it's not working. But I'm confident this team's going to work. So let's simulate season number 2, and let's hope for no disappointment this year. So we were once again stopping at the contract extension deadline. I think this is an underrated part of the offseason that I need to, or not offseason, during the midseason, I need to start stopping at. So Tyus Jones and Xavier Tillman are both willing to re-sign. Right now, we're currently a top 3 seed. So I want to keep this team together. I want to keep this team intact. So I'm definitely 100% going to extend both of them. I kind of said that I could maybe trade Tyus Jones. We got Tillman and Tyus Jones on longer term contracts, and they are back. The continuity is here. So I'm rolling with this team. I'm locking it in, and I'm confident in this roster. So let's keep it moving. So Luka Doncic is your MVP. Wembanyama on the Wizards is your Rookie of the Year. Why couldn't I get Wembanyama when I was doing a Wizard rebuild the other day? Come on, man. 6 man goes to Isaiah Hartenstein, which is something I've never seen before. Averages 2 blocks off the bench, 11 points, 5 or 6 rebounds. Isaac Defensive Player, Ayo Dosunmu, most improved in LA. Damn, Ayo Dosunmu is gone. JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year in Cleveland. W for him. And the Brandon Harrison is your executive. Here's your All-NBA first team. No John Morant to speak of. Cat does make it, though. And then Giannis and Trae Young. All-NBA second team, I'm assuming Ja is here. No, he's not. So I guess no John Morant this year. All-Defense first team. Do we get like a Jaren Jackson or Miles Turner? We do get Jaren Jackson. That's a W. So no John Morant, unless if I missed it. So that's unfortunate because we did lock up the first seed in the West. So I believed in this roster. I thought we could do it. And we can avoid Minnesota until at least the conference finals if we make it that far anyway. So they did lose D'Angelo Russell, so that could go our way. But we are the first seed. So if we take a look at our player stats this year, 23 from Jaren Jackson. Okay, so Jaren Jackson took a huge leap for us, which I'm okay with. 22.5 from John Morant, and then 10 assists. 19.5 from Desmond Bane. 14 from Keldon Johnson. 12 from Dylan Brooks. 10 from Miles Turner, and 8 blocks. And then 8 rebounds, and then 3 blocks. So Miles Turner and Jaren Jackson both almost averaged 3 blocks. So those 2 guys can block some shots, which is why I traded for him in the first place. Tyus Jones with 8 and 5 on the bench. We all know what he does. And then Zero Williams with 8. Again, I really liked him as a potential starter for this team in real life. That maybe that could happen for them as well. But for now, he's coming off the bench. And then Tillman with 5 extended him as well. We lost Clark, so we had to keep one of them. So let's go ahead and see who we get in round 1. We get the Oklahoma City Thunder. One of those teams that's kind of scary to play, as they do have a really good team like Shea, Giddey, Lou Dort, Cameron Johnson, Chet, Pokusevski. I am a little nervous getting upset in round 1, but we do win 1-0 start things off, which is good. We're up 2-0. So far, so good, but I'm not going to rule it out just yet. Okay, here it comes. Okay, we beat them in 5, hopefully. Game 6, beat them, please. All right, we move on to round 2. I thought for sure the Thunder were going to upset me. I just had a weird feeling, but now we get the Portland Trailblazers, which they have Dame, Simon, Shane Sharp, Jeremy Grant, Nurkic. So they have a good team in Portland. So hopefully we end up beating them. Shane Sharp is kind of their secret weapon over there. Let's see what he's averaging 19 in the playoffs. So this could be a very tough series for us, but we got Minnesota and Sacramento on the other side. I'm really hoping to run into Minnesota again and get my revenge if possible, but got to beat Portland, man. So game 1, we're down 1-0. 37-8 from John Morant, but Blazers beat me. Okay, fair enough. Game 2, down 2-0. They take both our games at home, down 3-0. And that is wild. We get swept by the Portland Trailblazers. Like, the Blazers are my favorite team and all, but man, I wanted some revenge against Minnesota. Minnesota sweeps them, and Minnesota goes on to win it all. So we get swept in the second round by the Blazers, which not a great look, man. But again, I believe in the roster. I really do. So I don't really know how I would improve. The LeBron James retires, and then Danny Green retires. So maybe that'll save me next year. Danny Green's not on the Blazers anymore, and we can win. That's not going to do anything. But Pelicans get the #1 overall pick via the Lakers, and we have the 27th overall pick in this draft. So how do I want to improve the roster? Because clearly what we're doing is not working. So do I want to trade? I don't even know what I would do, man. I really don't know what I would do. I'm in love with what we have right now. I guess the only thing that I could maybe look into is just improving the bench. Like, that's really all there is to it. But I really do love my bench as well. So a lot of decisions to go into this. We got to do something to put our team over the top, because clearly getting swept in the second round is not where we want to be. So we're looking to make a move. I'm giving up some depth in order to do this, but I'm going to try to acquire Bam Adebayo here in Memphis, and he's going to be another piece to the puzzle, hopefully. So I'm trading Miles Turner, Tyus Jones, and Kennedy Chandler. I'm feeling not that great about it. I really liked what we had. I'll also throw in a first, and they do agree. So we get Bam Adebayo here, and the Miami Heat were selling, and they were bad. So we gave up some depth for sure, which definitely sucks. We have Tillman still here, though. One thing we can kind of hang our hat on, but unfortunately it does suck to get rid of both my backup point guards, but we could probably go ahead and get that again eventually, so, and via free agency or something. So I'm going to sign both my second rounders, and then we'll go ahead and keep as much ammunition as possible, maybe for a trade. So yeah, I do feel very, very unfortunate about giving up Tyus Jones, but we get Bam Adebayo and a Jaren Jackson front court now. So Jake LaRavia, maybe he gets up into that backup power forward role. Zaire Williams. So I'm looking at the backup point guard position, and that's what I really want to improve. So Alex Caruso was sitting here, Gabe Vincent, Malachi Flynn. So there's some good options. Now they're not as good as Tyus Jones or anything like that. Dinwiddie's here though, but I am going to go probably for Mr. Malachi Flynn, who is the youngest one here. So I'm going to give Malachi Flynn a deal to be my brand new backup point guard, and we get Bam Adebayo this offseason to hopefully push this team over the top. I mean, I didn't really know what else to do. I really loved what I had in Miles Turner and Jaren Jackson, but I didn't want to just run it back again and hope it works. So Bam Adebayo joins the Memphis Grizzlies, and this is kind of your big four now. So let's see if that pushes us over the top at all. Jake LaRavia might be getting minutes this year. It kind of depends. I'm not really sure who would play over him, but this is my last chance right here, man. So hopefully third time's a charm. I think this is season number 3. Power ranking lands as a number 1. So this is your brand new starting 5. Ja, Desmond Bane, Keldon Johnson, Jaren Jackson, Bam Adebayo, Dylan Brooks, Tillman, Zaire Williams, and then Malachi Flynn is getting minutes over Jake LaRavia. But you get the point. We're going to see how we do this season. 4.5 balance once again. Got Bam Adebayo here and now in Memphis. We got to try to make this happen. Gave up a lot of depth in order to do this. Let's go see if we can win a championship this year, because we've gotten really close, but have not made it to the conference finals yet. So we need to get there. Ja Morant inserts himself this time as an All-NBA third team member, 22 points on the season, and we are once again the first seed in the Western Conference. And we don't even see the Blazers, so that's maybe a good sign for us as well, as the Blazers one of those teams that eliminated us in Minnesota. So Bam Adebayo joined us, 18 from Bane, 18 from Jackson, 22 from Ja Morant, 13 from Keldon Johnson. This is our chance. This is our best shot at it. Can we get it done? We get the Suns in round 1, who have Onyeka and Kongwu coming off the bench. They still have Chris Paul and Devin Booker and Mikal Bridges, Taurean Prince. Still in a current round against Phoenix. If we lose in round 1, then GG's, and we do beat them in 5. But now we get the Pelicans. So we don't have to deal with the Timberwolves. Instead, we get to deal with the Pelicans. I don't know which one I'd rather deal with, to be honest with you. They have Mikey Williams, probably who they just drafted, and they no longer have McCollum. Jose Alvarado is their starting point guard. So game 1, we're up 1-0. I just want to get to the Western Conference Finals, at least. We're up 2-1, 3-1, and can we do that, please? Beat them in 6, please. Let's go. We have finally made it to the conference finals, and now we get to play the Warriors. So the Warriors are one of those teams that we're familiar with. The Memphis Grizzlies and Warriors have matched up plenty of times in the playoffs. You know, one time when it was Mike Conley, Marc Gasol days, and just recently with Ja Morant, Bane, and Jackson. So here we go. We got Bam and Keldon Johnson with us now, and they have a starting center who's like a 74 overall. 2-0, 2-1. Can we beat them in 5? Can we beat them in 5? Beat them in 6, please. Let's go, baby. We are in the NBA Finals playing another young up-and-coming team, that being the Cleveland Cavaliers, who pretty much have the same starting 5, and now they have DeMar DeRozan as well, and Kevin Love still there. Jakob Poeltl. Very impressive bench, might I add. So this could be a tough finals, but game 1, we're up 1-0, beat them, and game 2, 2-0, 3-1, please. Beat them in 5, please. No, why are they winning 3 straight on us, man? No, okay. I'm going 8-man rotation. All we have to do is win 2 games. That's all there is to it. 2-game wins. I mean, you can win 2 in a row a lot, right? Come on, Memphis. We got this. Okay. Got to win in Cleveland. Got to push this back to Memphis. I don't know why we let this get to where it is right now, but man, please hold on to this lead. Please hold on. Please force a game 7. Please force a game 7. No, man. Cavaliers go on and beat us, and I'm going to end it there, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. But again, boys, I didn't win a championship in this video. I can live with that, though. I had fun, and it was hopefully fun for you to watch. We tried to put the best team possible. Yes, I could have went out there and traded for all these 90s and had a championship 4 times in a row, and that would have been beautiful, but that's just not as fun for me. So I can live with that, and I'm okay with that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys can understand where I was coming from in the beginning. But for now, this is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.